Good evening sa lahat ng Summoners. I'm BG Sphere.
And I'm Jay.
You're watching the Garena Premier League 2014 a summer season. This time, manonood tayo sa laban sa pagitan ng team Bangkok Titans versus team ng Insidious Gaming Legends. So, sila yung dating team ng ISG or yung tinatawag natin na ISG. Insidious Gaming din siya before, pero ngayon dagdagan sila ng Legend. Since meron silang team to ngayon, ang pangalan ay IGL
Gaming Rebirth.
Yes, so yan. So same na sila, Insidious Gaming Rebirth naman to. And sila yung bagong, I think sila yung nakatalo sa Singapore Sentinels sa Singapore.
That's right.
Kung kaya sila yung nakakuha ng stat ngayon sa ating GPL.
That's right.
Pero bago ang lahat mga kaibigan, tignan muna natin ang ating schedule for tonight's matches.
Yes, so if you guys tuned in earlier this evening, the first match was between Saigon Fantastic 5 against Neolution Full Lewis, followed by Neo Fulush going for the second game of the season and the day against Insidious Gaming Rebirth, the other team, the sister team of Insidious Gaming Legends. And of course, now it will be Bangkok Titans versus Insidious Gaming Legends, followed by the last match of the night will be between Imperial Pro Team and the Deadly Taipei Assassin.
Yes, medyo nakakatakot ang laban mamaya sa pagitan ng Team IPT versus Team ng TPA. And I think, since medyo aware na sila sa mga possible na mangyari between both teams dito, ano kayang gagawin ng Team IPT mamaya? Ano kayang mga strategy na paplanuhin nila against Team TPA? We'll see. Pero ngayon mga kaibigan, Bangkok Titans versus Team na Insidious Gaming Legends. Game on na tayo ngayon. Let's go sa picking phase.
Alright, so on the blue side, we will have the Bangkok Titans, and on the purple side, we will have Insidious Gaming Legends. Now, the first band coming from Bangkok Titans is the Kale. We've been seeing a lot of Kale in the past few games, and Kale has been doing not so bad in these matches, so this is a pretty good ban coming from BKT against the Insidious Gaming Legends. So ito pinakamaganda for Kale. We all know na talagang usual sa kanya as an AP carry dito, as an AP carry champion dito, ay yung paggawa sa kanya ng Runan's Hurricane kung saan sobrang naging very effective for his champion. The attack speed, especially kapag meron siyang Nashor's Tooth dito, the damage output coming from the AP, scaling AP of this champion can be very effective in the skirmishes na mangyayari dito. Sobrang laki ng damage output niya. At kapag, habang tumatagal, habang lumalakas yung damage output na magagaling sa kanyang third skill dito. Alright, so, going quickly through the bans, Bangkok Titans have decided to ban out Kale, Lulu, and Morgana, while Insidious Gaming have so far banned out LeBlanc and Lee Sin, all very high mobility champions, and their final ban is a Cassidy. Again, another very high mobility champion here coming from IGL or Insidious Gaming Legends against Bangkok Titans. Of course, we've seen Cassidy get through a few times already since yesterday.
Yes.
And this time around, IGL will not take the chance of letting Cassidy or Lee Sin through in the picks.
Not to mention, Cassidy as well is a very OP champion at this point of time kung saan lagi natin siya nakikita na ginagamit. Kagaya kanina, 2 games, ginamit si Cassidy. Sobrang dominant ang champion na to. Even yesterday, sa mga matches na nangyari kahapon, all throughout the game, Cassidy having 8-0 score, 6-0 score. I don't think sobrang na-nerf siya sa recent patches natin. Even though sobrang laki ng changes sa kanya. From 0.8 AP scaling from this champion, nakadepende sa item niya, nabuwasan ng 0.6 or 0.7, something like that.
Yes. Alright, so first pick coming from Bangkok Titans is the Nami. So we'll be seeing the support of Bangkok Titans being their first pick. And of course, Insidious Gaming are now hovering over the Jax and the Zyra, so we'll probably be seeing the top lane and support being picked out by the IGL here. And let's see if they will lock those in. I feel like they will probably take this champion.
Yes, once again, a Jax for their top lane. Dito most probably for a top lane, having the teleport and flash as his summoner spell. And I think there's a possibility na makakita na naman tayo once again ng 4-1-1 or tinatawag 4-1-0 lineup dito or tinatawag natin na body system for the jungler and the top laner. Halos lahat ng Vietnam teams, kanina nakita natin from NFL, yesterday from team ng SF5, team ng SAJ dito, they have Pantheon, they have Jax for the jungler and their top lane dito, which is very effective. As you can see, they can surely gank the top lane dito with the stun coming from Pantheon, the jump coming from Jax dito using that counter strike. Both the champion, once they gank the top lane dito, they should have reached the level 2 na. So at least they have 2 skills before ganking the top lane dito and getting the first tier turret.
And it looks like Bangkok Titans did hear you this time around and decided to pick up or steal away that Pantheon, afraid that IGL may pick it up for themselves in the next round of picks. Now, so they now have their jungler and top lane. Definitely Shyvana will be their top laner,
Mm.
since most likely Pantheon will be staying in the jungle for Bangkok Titan. So we'll have to see what IGL will pull out of the champion picks to complement Jax in the top lane. If they could pick up another stunner, there we go. Probably Vi would be a smart pick for them to complement the combo that you're saying that Jax can do in the top lane with Pantheon.
Yes, since Elise as well can be very effective with the help of Jax dito. When you have Jax in the top lane and you will do a body system, you have to make sure that your jungler should have at least one skill dito that can stun your opponent. And that can be very effective in the early team fight. You can stun a champion, follow up with that counter strike, flash in. Kahit isang champion lang mag-burn ng flash dito, you can secure a kill in the top lane with the help of your stunning of your jungler dito na may stun. Looking at the lineup mga kaibigan, for team na BKT, they pick up Nami like what you've said kanina. We have Pantheon, naagaw nila si Pantheon for their jungler, Shyvana for the top lane. This is going to be very interesting for their lineup dito kung saan they have Shyvana that can control the top lane dito if she will solo the top lane. But if they will do the body system as well, they have to make sure na meron silang enough sustainability dito to secure the objective of sustaining the top lane or defending their turrets. As you can see, they have Shyvana, they have Pantheon. So I doubt na magkakaroon sila ng body system since Shyvana don't have any crowd control skill kapag hindi pa siya umabot ng level 6.
Yes, we'll have to see. Of course, the last pick coming out from Bangkok Titans would be the Corki and the Ziggs. They were thinking about picking up the Twitch, and we've seen how powerful Twitch can be. But since Shyvana and Nami sort of knocks the opponent slightly away, especially Shyvana, this will not be very helpful for Twitch. Now, of course, the Corki with his flash and of course his skill, he's able to chase down opponents or use them to escape. So this is a much better pick coming from Sek here on the Corki. Alright, so yeah, so IGL now picking up their last champion. They decided to go. Yes, most likely, definitely gonna be their mid laner here.
This is going to be very interesting for their lineup dito. They have Twisted Fate for the AP mid carry. They have Elise for their jungler. And the top lane na si Jax. And they have more crowd control than the other team dito. As you can see, they have the Bangkok Titans. We have the stun coming from Pantheon. The Aqua Prison coming from Nami. And also yung kanyang Tidal Wave that can be very effective. Yung crowd control na gagawa nito. Knock up for the champion. And napakalaki ng area of effect nito. Compared to the other teams na meron tayo dito, we have the IGL. Kung mapapansin mo, to compensate the tidal wave coming from Nami dito, they have the SS as well, or the ultimate skill coming from Zyra. Sobrang laki din nung AoE niya. At with that knock-up damage from their team, they have the high advantage dito during the skirmishes or sa clash na mangyayari. And take note, once na tumama yung cocoon, once na tumama yung counter-strike from Jax, siguro yung objective nila of killing a champion dito against a team ng BKT.
Yes. Talking about Nami, Nami is very similar to Sona as a support. We used to see Sona so often back in Season 2, and she's fallen out of flavor for other more higher utility or if not tankier supports. Now, Nami does fill in the role similar to Sona, but with the option of a second stun with her one of her skills, which allows her to Aqua Prison to catch off champions, unlike Sona, who can only have to rely on her heal and poke to wither down the opponents.
Ang tanging crowd control lang na mangyayari dito kay Sona, ayaw kanyang crescendo. Though we also have the damage, the harass potential of bottom lane dito. We have Corki and Nami. As you can see, kapag ginamit yung kanyang E dito that can buff any champion with a normal hit, it can slow, it has the bonus damage as well, that have the advantage in bottom lane. So if ever na umabot sila ng level 6, most likely depende na to sa kung paano nila diskartehan ang kanilang kalaban since meron silang mas masakit yung poke damage nila na manggagaling sa kanilang team since they have the ultimate skill from Corki dito na he can use every 1 second after niya gamitin yung isang skill.
That's right. Alright, so it's been a while since we've seen a Corki in action in any of our games, no?
Here in the GPL, this is the first time for team ng BKT dito to pick up Corki for their AD carry. But in the LCS, lagi siya nagagamit dito saan after no mga recent patches dito, the nerf from that Trinity Force, the effectiveness of this champion, mapapansin mo sa kanya talaga na sobrang kaya mag-dominate in the bottom lane. And it all depends kung paano sila manalo in the laning phase with their support role dito.
Yes. Looking at the lineup though, I don't expect to see an early lane swap since it's pretty even on both sides. Both have a lot of crowd control and harass on both ends, so it could be a standard laning phase. Of course, if any of the teams want to shake things up, having a 4-1-0 lineup or a 2-2-1-0 lineup, a 2-1-0 laning wouldn't be totally impossible, especially with the lineup coming from IGL, like you said. Since Jax and at least do provide the stun, they are able to do a good body system if they decide to do that in the jungle.
Yes, ang dami nilang ano dito eh, dami nilang follow-up skills coming from their team. Kapag tumama talaga yung kukun niya, they have the counter strike, they have the vines from Zyra, they have the yellow card from Twisted Fate dito. So
and yeah, IGL can definitely lock up a champion easily because they have 4 champions with hard crowd control. Of course, Jax stun, Elise has stun, TF has stun, Zyra has her vines. So basically, once they catch somebody, if they are able to focus them down, definitely nobody can escape unless they probably pick up maybe a cleanse. But I don't see anybody picking up a cleanse yet. So their only other option is to pick up a Quicksilver Sash to escape those stuns. But with so many of this, I expect to see probably not just a Quicksilver Sash but even a Banshee's Veil as the game progresses.
So this is gonna be very interesting dito. As you can see, walang kumuha sa kanila ng Ignite sa Summoner Spell. And one possible reason is because hindi sila ganun na mag-focus sa aggressive lineup dito in the bottom lane. So they're not going to rely on sa ginagawa nilang 2-1-2 or 2-1-1 like the usual na role laning phase ito, or 1-1-2 na sinasabi natin. Now we have the duo bot, we have the mid laner, the solo, the top lane solo as well. For team ng ISG, I mean team ng BKT dito, that is, there's a high possibility that 2 champions from their team, BKT, Corki and Nami will go for top lane. We have in the mid lane dito na si Ziggs, we have in the bottom lane si Pantheon. Kasi, itong si Shyvana. But for team of IGL, there's a high possibility that they will do the duo bot. The body system dito. So, if ever na magawa nila to against 2 champions in the top lane, hindi sila ganun na makapush kagad since they have the AD carry and the support. Yun ang pinag-usapan natin kahapon eh. Paano nila maka-counter yung body system na yun? Paano nila lalabanan yung ganong klase ng strategy? Isang bagay lang. Sabayan nyo sila. Ang gagawin mo kapag nakita ka ng body system dito, we have the AD carry, we have the jungler, we have the top laner na magsasama with the duo top lane. Pupush nila kagad yung first turret, they will get the first blood. So, you will do the same. You have your jungler, you have your solo top laner, that will go for top lane at hayaan yung isang lane dito to get push. Since merong teleport ang inyong top laner dito, you can use the teleport summoner spell para mag-push or mag-defend in the top lane once na makuha nila yung first turret.
Yes, that's right. Alright, so like you mentioned, there is no Ignite from either team. This will probably be more of a push-centric teams coming from both of them. You can see here that Ziggs and Corki will be providing the harass for the side of BKT, while IGL will have the TF and the Lucian to provide the same synergy in the lane pushes, of course. And Shyvana basically and Pantheon, including Elise, will basically be providing protection, including the supports as well. Yes. You have a lot of engage and disengage coming from both teams, but definitely IGL has a superior crowd control here, and if they're able to execute properly, they should pull an advantage over BKT.
But we have to take note as well, yung advantage din na possible na magkaroon dito ang team ng BKT. They have Shyvana, a very tanky champion. Can go also for more on focus sa kanya pagiging AD carry champion dito. But when you're using Shyvana, mas maganda talaga kapag mag-focus ka sa pagiging tanky mo, getting your Sunfire Cape or getting your Spirit Visage, the Randuin's Omen dito. Or minsan kasi kapag nakakuha na siya ng Blade of the Ruined King, sobrang laki ng advantage siya against his opponent. Kaya niya mag-snowball ng sobra dito even against the Jax. At kahit sobrang napugo siya, sobrang bilis siya makahabol. And kapag nakuha siya ng Blade of the Ruined King, he can surely chase down a champion, especially the AD carry. So ito na mga kaibigan, welcome to the Summoner's Rift. Game muna tayo laban sa pagitan ng Team Bangkok Titans at team ng Insidious Gaming Legend. Insidious Gaming Legend.
That's right.
So ayan, magkakaroon ng early invade dito from team ng BKT. See what might happen.
Yes, actually I'm surprised that IGL is not doing an early invade with all the they have so much more crowd control compared to BKT, but BKT, they've got at least 2 stuns here, and that's not too bad for them. They should be able to pick up a kill if they can catch somebody here.
Yes.
You can see here, BKT are in the top lane. This alone shows that they're most likely gonna go for a 4-1-0 push here in the top lane, and this is something we have not seen. This is something that everybody has been doing in the local scene and in even the other scene as well. Now there is a purple, or there is a ward from the purple side
so
there.
They knew. Then
So,
yun na merong mga champions doon. So they have
well, they will
5
see.
champions from
They
team
will
ng
see
BKT.
later on once they cross it. Because so far, BKT did not get spotted there. But right now, BKT, there we go. BKT has been spotted already. IGL are aware that everybody is in the top lane, and as you can see, BKT ward is leading the charge here. They even use a sweeper ward, but there was no ward there, so they have no idea if IGL knows that they're up there or not.
Yes, alam mo, thanks to Riot, sobrang grabe na yung mind play natin ngayon. Early part of the game pa lang. As you can see, since nagkaroon na tayo kagad ng trinket dito for the first 30 seconds of the game, you have the advantage of securing your jungler buffs and getting that red buff dito para ma-secure for your junglers.
Yes, GG Spear, look at this. It looks like IGL has invented a new strategy here. They already know the movement of BKT here, and they're gonna go for the early invade. It's gonna be a 4v1 in the blue pit, and there you go. The ward plays down. Warlock NOW.
BKT. He was forced to use that flash out. IGL Han forced to use that flash in as well. Unfortunately, wala siyang naabot doon.
Yes,
and they have to clear that blue buff for team ng BKT dito. So I think
their strategy basically failed there. They could have. I feel like they shouldn't put down the ward. If they didn't put down the ward, they would have probably picked up a champion. But
they could have put down the ward here para siguro wala silang makita dito.
Exactly. Well, anyways, although I think their strategy was pretty smart, but like you just said,
very dangerous mga kaibigan. IGL Han taking a lot of damage against 3 champions.
And he has no more flash there.
No more flash, and he doesn't have any skill to disengage here. So first blood for team ng BKT dito is very bad for himself dito. Kung saan mapapansin mo, medyo nagtagal siya ng around 20 seconds dun sa may jungle buff dito.
Sayang. I really thought their strategy was pretty smart, but because of the misplay there.
Champion got exhausted in top lane dito mga kaibigan. Both AD carries mga kaibigan. Still, he's doing a lot of damage. You have to use the flash out. A good play from BBTY against BKT Lloyd here in the top lane mga kaibigan. Aqua Prison for BKT, I mean IGL, BBTY. Very smart play from team ng IGL dito.
Yes, Lair I think will have a little bit of a difficult time here against Ziggs here. And Ziggs can definitely use his bombs to just throw them over the minions to harass TF. TF of course will have his cards, but with slight mechanical skills coming from G4, he should be able to avoid those cards pretty easy. Alright, so it looks like it's a reverse of the laning phases right now. Instead of a 4-1-0, it's just a total lane swap for both laners for both sides rather.
Yes, one reason kung bakit ito nangyari sa kanila is because they failed getting the first blue buff of team in BKT. And take note, the first pa dito si Jax, so that is very bad for their team. And hindi maganda yung ganong klase ng strategy dito kung saan imbis na gagawin mo kung ano dapat din na pagplanuhan, you have to change your style dito kasi nabasa na kayo ng kalaban. They knew what you guys will do, so you have to change the strategy and stick sa normal meta mga kaibigan. So ngayon 1-1 na lang ating score. Kapag nakakuha ng advantage dito, a slight goal difference in favor of team ng IGL, having around 300 gold advantage here against team ng BKT. And kanina, bakit kaya ba nagsama-sama sila dito? IGL have to stick together kasi nga in their lineup, they have more crowd control for their team. And magiging effective lang yun ng sobra kapag nag-stick sila together. Yeah. So if they're not sticking together, walang kwenta yung ganitong klase ng lineup na mas marami kayong crowd control. Yeah, no follow-up na mangyayari from your teammates.
Yeah, although I like what IGL was thinking of doing there, try to invade the blue buff of a BKT there with the 4-man invade, I still feel like it would have been much better if IGL went for that 4-man push in the bottom lane, and they would probably picked up more gold, including the dragon by now, and have a huge lead over IGL. Well, BKT rather.
Yes, actually kapag ganito yung nangyari na nag-swap na both duo and the top laner dito, hindi mo na makikita yung difference talaga. Here comes Dokun mga kaibigan from Equivocal. They're chasing down Warlock. He's doing a lot of damage. Don't have any flash dito, but not enough for team ng IGL to pick up another kill here in the bottom lane. So that is, I think, miscommunication from their team. But since nag-connect naman yung Counter-Strike and din yung kanyang kukun dito, the only problem there, you don't have enough burst damage to pick up one champion.
And Shyvana is just really too tanky. Even at the early levels, Shyvana is very hard to kill, especially with the right runes and masteries. Really tough to take her down.
Wow, that grasping roots mga kaibigan from Zyra in the top lane.
Yeah, and
That's BKT set.
That's probably another reason why he decided not to go with the Twitch there. Because if he got caught by those vines, for sure he would have died in a normal fight. But because Corki has a good escape skill, he's able to basically do similar to what Twitch would normally do, but escape with that escape is a little bit safer to play.
Good play from BKT Warlock dito in the bottom lane. Pressuring Jax or pressuring Han for himself to farm very well here in the bottom lane mga kaibigan. And as you can see, 35-24 CS. Though nahihirapan si Warlock dito, in terms of harassing against Han, he has the advantage.
Alright, so BKT-wise, doing a really good job of harassing Corki here. The CS though is very even still, as you can see, it's 40-41. Not much gold advantage here, but right now Jax is winning over Shyvana in terms of CS in the bottom lane, and TF as well. So right now IGL does have the gold lead, almost 1k just through the farms of the CS.
That is very huge at this point of time. 7-minute mark, nakita na kagad natin yung difference sa ating gold. And I think is dahil to sa CS difference, mapapansin natin na 43 CS, 31 CS in the top, in the bottom lane, 54 CS for Twisted Fate, while 47 CS, 49 CS na ngayon for Ziggs. So pagdating sa lamangan sa kanilang mga laning phase dito, we have Ziggs. Mas marami yung mas malaki yung damage output niya. Yung pang-clear ng wave niya compared to Twisted Fate dito. So I think that's the only difference na meron sila in the mid lane. Kung paano nila gagamitin na maayos yung kanilang champion. As you can see, once umabot ng level 6 itong dalawang champion na to, they have the ultimate from Twisted Fate and the Mega Inferno Bomb from Ziggs as well in the mid lane. So Ziggs, hindi niya kailangan umalis na lane niya to contribute enough damage sa mga teamfight na mangyayari, while Twisted Fate have to use that Destiny para makaresponde siya dito sa laban nila.
Yeah, and we can really see now why BKT AD carry and support wanted to do that lane swap. As you can see, they're losing the trade here. The exchange is just too strong for them to handle. Zyra, of course, having a much more painful harass, including Lucian in the early levels of the game. Now Corki and Nami are suffering here in the top lane, and unless they get some help from the jungle, they're gonna probably continue to be behind in CS as the game progresses.
1k gold difference until now. At nakikita natin ngayon na wala ganong action na nangyayari. No ganks coming from the junglers dito. And sobrang gap nitong si 007X compared to Equivocal. Level 4 pa lang siya using Pantheon. So I think that's one of the reasons why wala ganong action na nangyayari dito. Dahil hindi siya makagank ng maayos. As you can see, kapag gumang siya sa ibang lane dito, 5 champion of team ng IGL are now level 6, so they have the advantage. They can turn around the table dito and they can at least kill one champion mga kaibigan. Here comes IGL Han in the mid lane. Is used that counter strike to stun G4, but I think nag-fade siya dito.
I'm not really sure here, but I feel like BKT 007 on the Pantheon, he may not be that comfortable with it, with his performance so far. I expected him, I believe he is one of the newer members, or probably the name, but stealing the Pantheon away from IGL doesn't seem to be very much in their favor just yet. We'll have to see. Maybe he's just having a bad jungling experience so far, since there was the contest of the blue buff a while ago did distract his route, but if he can get back into the game, we'll have to see if he can do some nice grand skyfalls to make some big plays for them in the later part of the game. Alright, so IGL Han here on the Jax, still dominating in CS here over Shyvana. Shyvana, of course, did pick up a kill a while ago, so that gave her a big boost in items, as she already has the Giant's Belt. Of course, CS is now starting to get even between them, because Han did decide to try to gank the middle lane, but without any success, did not pick up any kills. Alright, so BKT 007 on Pantheon is now covering for Ziggs here in the middle lane. As you can see, he's last hitting those minions under the third here. Han tried to use his counter strike. Warlock did not engage. Of course, it would have been a misplay if he did so.
Meanwhile, mga kaibigan, at this point of time, Team IGL is trying to take the first dragon of the game, and Team BKT wasn't aware na kinukuha nila ngayon ang dragon dito. Very good team play for team ng IGL dito. napakaaga ng pagkuha nila dito ng Dragon. And that's one of the benefit na meron kayo kapag meron kayong Elise. It's one of your champion. Use yung kanyang W skill dito in her spider form and get the dragon alone. So ito ang pinakamaganda sa kanya. At least one champion from your team can help her to get that dragon.
Yeah, Elise is really a very strong champion at the early part of the game, but she definitely falls off much later into the game, and this is probably one of her biggest weakness. But at the early levels, she can just do so much. She can gank really well. She can even jungle very well without losing much HP because, like you said, her spiderlings can tank a lot of damage for her at the early levels, and this gives her a huge advantage against most junglers in the game.
Yes.
Now, of course, even though she can build tank, she's just not as tanky as other champions in the late game.
Here comes
and this makes her...
Oops. Almost there, mga kaibigan. IGL, mga kaibigan. IGL Zappy taking a lot of damage against BKT G4. They have to back out here in the mid lane. Here comes the teleport from Jackson. And I think it's about time to have a first clash here in team fight. Oh, it's Giovanna! Wow, a good play from Warlock dito. We have to use that dragon form chasing down one champion. Not good for BKT007X to use yung kanyang Grand Skyfall. Pero nanganib ang buhay ni BBTY, mga kaibigan. Will be able to pick a kill here in the jungle. But no, here comes the heal.
Oh!
His summoner spell and the heal as well. Boom! Lloyd. That gave them the advantage. And IGL had to respond here top lane dito. So in total, it's a 2-for-1 exchange. Naging in favor po to sa IGL.
Yeah, actually, Pantheon was going way too deep there. Medyo maasim yung galaw niya. He really wanted to pick up that kill onto Zyra to the point that he was so low in health. Jax had an easy kill when he teleported in there. So,
nag-back out. Siguro nag-back na lang dapat siya after niya na mag-miss yung kanyang Grand Skyfall dito. Yeah. While on the other hand, as you can see, that Corki with the respawn coming from Nami dito, Lloyd and Sek did a pretty good job doon sa top lane kanina, getting the life of BBTY. Fortunately for BBTY, wala doon yung kanyang support duo to help him survive the team fight na nangyari kanina.
Yes, alright, so it looks like everybody will be going back to their lanes, although BKT has continued to keep their AD carry and support in the top lane. I'm sorry, IGL rather decided to keep their ADR and support in the top lane. So there isn't really anything for them to push there. I'm quite surprised that they're still there. They could probably go to the bottom lane to try to push the bottom lane. That's what most people or most pro players or pro teams would do. But in this time around, IGL opted not to go with this option. Decided just to farm in the top lane. So IGL Han here doing his best to farm under his tower. No problem with Jax, of course. He has his empowered hit on his lamppost right now, and Warlock right now getting really tanky. He already has a Sunfire Cape completed, while Jax will be rushing his Trinity Force.
Napakalaki ng tulong sa kanya yung nangyaring teamfight kanina in the mid lane, in the jungler dito. Sana gamit niya yung kanyang dragon form and nakahuli siya ng tatlong champion. So, point of time, masasabi natin na nag-snowball na talaga yung kanyang item, getting the Sunfire Cape for his champion. But 007X, mga kaibigan, I don't think medyo maganda yung timing niya dun sa paglabas niya. And if ever na they forced themselves to initiate in that team fight, they would have the disadvantage dito since nakita natin na nag-responde kagad ang ibang members ng team ng IGL. So ngayon 4-2 ang ating score in terms of goal difference in favor of the team ng IGL. It's going to be very dangerous for team ng BKT if they don't do something about it.
Yeah, IGL has a nice 2k gold lead, right? And that's definitely very comfortable at 15 minutes into the game. Not as big as most of time we see it, so it's not really a blowout just yet. IGL, of course, have rotated their AD carry and support to the mid lane. And Ziggs is being accompanied by the support of Nami here as well, just to compensate for the 2-lane push being handled by IGL over to them. So,
and I think medyo pantay talaga ang ating mid laners dito. Though meron ng 2 assists si Ziggs or 2 si G4 against kay Slayer. They both have the 124 CS, 127 CS in the mid lane. So pantay na pantay sila. And I think pareho silang umalis kaya sa lane nila. So, hindi natin makikita dito yung difference pagdating sa kanilang mga CS. Kasi, once na umalis sa isang champion to get his items or at least makabawi sa kanyang farm dito. Same with the other champion. To get his own item as well para naman hindi siya malugi sa laning phase dito. Kasi ito isa sa pinakamaganda ito ang isa sa magandang dapat gawin mo kapag lalaro ka ng League of Legends. You have to get an item dito. Halimbawa, nakita mo na umuwi yung champion na kalaban mo and pareho kayo ng CS. Kahit na kaya mong kumuha na mas marami pang CS since wala siya sa laning phase, you should just go back home as well para makakuha ka ng advantage dito in terms of your item. Here comes the Disciple, mga kaibigan. Stun, exhausted, but I think might get away here. Napilitan siya gumamit ng kanyang flash. Ghost dito. But the stun coming from 007X. He's doing a lot of damage, mga kaibigan. First hit from BKT 6. So he was stunned. Destiny from Slayer. And no good for his champion. He goes down. 1 kill, 2 assists for team ng BKT dito. Magna Inferno pa in the bottom lane. IGL Han almost there, mga kaibigan. And in total, it's a 1-1 exchange.
Yeah, so Zappy protecting the members there. G4 trying to respond here. With Zappy, of course, protecting the members of IGL there. All 4 members will get away safely, and there we go. We can see they're trying to take the dragon. They have to be a little bit careful.
He's going to be the second dragon
there.
Bakit nila dinedward to? I wonder why they are not... Oh! Hindi nila nakikita. Not enough for this vision ward.
Slightly just out of range for that pink ward.
Sayang. Siguro mas maganda kung medyo naurong nila na konti, no? Like, somewhere here.
Yes, but anyway, nonetheless, they were able to pick up the dragon.
They got the second dragon of the game.
Alright, so Zappy trying to defend here in the mid lane. Of course, TF is there as well. So BKT 007, and they had enough pushing power there. BBTY will respond with picking up a tower in the bottom lane.
Oh, Warlock,
a lot of trouble here.
BBTY is forced to use that dash out, but I think Warlock can manage to kill BBTY if ever na meron siyang dragon form. No, the W in the response guy from 007X. They were confident to kill one champion here in the bottom lane since they have the response coming from that champion. I think it's a good trade for Lucian dito since nakuha niya his first retreat in the bottom lane and wala kasi sa nakuha dito si Pantheon. But Warlock, not wasting any time here in the bottom lane, is trying to get his first retreat in the bottom lane as well for their team. So, sweldo time for team ng BKT. Oh! Pinag-iisipan pa niyang mabuti kung wawasakan niya nga ba ang turret. And yes. Yeah, so far ngayon, 2-2 ang ating turret destroyed. And the difference sa ating gold dito, around 2,000 and most probably because of the dragon. And as you see, kahit 6-3 ang ating score, lamang ang team ng BKT dito sa score. But that dragon can change the tides of the game. Sila ba na to?
Yeah, and it's quite odd. Even though the BKT has more kills right now over IGL, the Dragon objective as well as probably the slight CS advantage, that's actually not that much anymore since I can see here Ziggs has already overtaken TF in terms of CS. Lucian is just a few, like 4 or 3 or CS advantage over Corgi, so it's not really that much in terms of CS. More on probably the objectives, or they're picking up bigger objectives compared to BKT at the moment. Alright, so Slayer will continue to try to protect the mid lane from being pushed here. Nice ward being put down by Nami here in the mid lane to see the movements of the players on the side of IGL. BBTY again has to be careful here. He's all alone. Of course, his support is hiding in the bush, but Pantheon and Nami will try to slow down any push coming from IGL.
Well, that's the job of the support role dito. Bukod sa kailangan nila ng enough vision for team ng IGL, they should have at least stopped team IGL dito to push any other lanes. So you can see, though we have around 1.5k goal difference dito, BKT can still win this game. And hindi pa tayo sigurado kung ano yung possible na mangyari in the later part of the game since at this point of time, hindi pa natin nakikita yung ganun ka-effective na pag-follow up ng mga skills nito from team ng IGL. Hindi pa tayo nakakita ng sunod-sunod na disable from their team. Like picking a champion dito, since hindi pa talaga sila nagsasama-sama. Any member from their team ay hanggang ngayon, they're still busy farming throughout the game.
Yes, and IGL Han here, trying to defend his tower. His tower is actually just probably like 2 or 3 hits from going down here. Warlock could probably just run straight to the tower, but decided to go one-on-one with Han here. Han not continuing his fight. He already has completed his Trinity Force, but even with that Trinity Force and tons of damage it provides him, without any lifesteal yet, of course he does have a little lifesteal from the Dorn's blades that give him 10 HP per hit.
Well,
it would not be enough to sustain him against Shyvana on a head-to-head battle.
That's one good thing for Shyvana dito, picking up the Sunfire Cape as his first item. That contributed very well dito against Jax, kasi yun, sobrang nahirapan si Jax against him. And siguro kinuha niya kagad yung Bridgewater Cutlass niya, and then go for the Blade of the Ruined King. I don't think he can win against Jax dito, since yes, meron siyang damage shot, but meron siyang heal, meron siyang lifesteal for his champion, but with the armor, with the lesser armor against Jax, you can't win against Jax dito. And with the Dragon Form as well, it's not enough against Jax. But Jax could have just get yung kanyang Blade of the Ruined King first before getting the Trinity Force. Siguro he can gain the advantage pa kung yun yung ginawa niya dito. But not a bad idea for himself to get the Trinity Force, kasi he can at least do a split push sa laban na to and then get away once na may mga champion na nahahabol sa kanya.
Yes, actually the game seems a little slow right now. Nobody really pushing for any objectives here. As you can see here, although the tower advantage now is on BKT side by picking up the tower in the top lane, IGL has not yet tried to pick up their third of the game, especially the one in the mid lane, which is very crucial tower to protect. And since BKT is doing a pretty good job of protecting this tower, they do have a slight advantage in terms of map presence in this game. Alright, so we can see here Jax will continue to farm in the top lane while Lloyd is still trying to place down wards and of course use his sweeper to clear out wards. He was able to spot one just right now there, and this is actually a good giving them a better advantage in terms of map control.
So ngayon nahabol na ng team ng BKT ang goal difference na around 1.5k kanina. And as long as they're trying to catch up sa farm dito, hindi dapat palagalin ng team ng IGL na laban ito. They have to do something. Getting the first turret in the mid lane to at least magkaroon sila ng advantage dito pagdating sa map control. Dahil ang pinaka-importante sa lahat ng lane ay yung mid lane. Once na makuha yung first tier turret and second tier turret dito sa laban, you can have enough vision and map control for your champion. So, third dragon is up. I think, if ever na makuha to ng team ng BKT, they would have the advantage sa goal difference. And if ever na makuha na naman to ng team IGL, syempre like what happened earlier, sila na naman nalalamang sa goal difference natin.
I have to say BKT is doing a really good job so far in this game. They're really investing on this vision wards and wards as well, including the sweepers. You can see here they've spotted so many wards already so early into this game, and BKT really want to take the dragon here. They've already started the dragon. We'll have to see if IGL decides to engage. Lucian
not very bad for team ng BKT, mga kaibigan. Here comes the Destiny from IGL's there. They're taking a lot of damage. The Vine from Zyra and Equivocal get the life of BKT's deck. BKT Warlock still chasing down Hantito. He's taking a lot of damage and he goes down. Here comes the Grand Skyfall from Pantheon. What happened? Instead, he decided to attack that Vine from Zyra. Tito and Equivocal goes down with the bouncing bombs coming from G4. 3 champion from team IGL. Got the life of BKT Lloyd. It's a 3-4-2 in total in favor of team ng IGL. And the dragon is still alive.
Yes, let's see. I think IGL may decide to continue to get the dragon since they do have their AD carry and support still alive. TF will also provide some additional damage as well there. Zyra using her plans of course to tank that dragon a little bit, and now BBTY now being the front man here. War cleared out by IGL Zappy. A huge win for IGL there. Like you said, they picked up one additional kill and the dragon, pushing their slight gold advantage to a little bit even bigger. But of course, BKT is not far behind at all at this point. They still have their middle third, and because of this advantage here, it will definitely be IGL's hand to deal with this tower in the middle lane.
Wonder what happened kanina. As you can see, BKT sobrang pilit nila kunin yung dragon dito. And nakita ko yung pagkakamali kanina na 007X using that Grand Skyfall, and instead of stunning any champion or disengaging dito, he attacked the vines of Zyra. And I think that's one of the reasons why they lost the team fight na nangyari kanina. And one thing also ay yung pagdi-disengage ng sobra ng team ng BKT dito. Instead of getting the dragon, focus sa pagkuha ng dragon dito. Ang ginawa nila, naghiwalay sila. Hindi nila alam kung ano yung next step after disengaging dito. And naiwan nila yung dragon at naiwan nila ibang teammates nila. So they lost that team fight. And
yeah, and the dragon was continuously doing damage to most of the members of BKT.
Sila pa yung sumasalo ng damage coming from that dragon kanina.
So that definitely gave IGL a huge advantage in that last clash there. BKT Sec here has to be a little bit careful not to get caught by those vines there. Of course, he really wants to push the tower there in the middle lane. This will give them an even bigger advantage if they're able to take it down. Alright, so Jax will try to stop the split push coming from BKT Warlock here. Han is still way behind. He did not go for any lifesteal. Instead, he already completed his boots, including upgrading it with the home guard boots. And I feel like this is not probably the smartest play for Jax at this point in time, but we'll have to see as the game progresses. There's still a lot of time for them to get back here. A teleport coming in from Jax.
Forced to initiate a team fight. Grasping roots from IGL. Papi dito. G4! Wow! What a play from G4 dito mga kaibigan. But he goes down kaya from BBTY. BKT Sec also got the life of Zappy. BKT Sec against 2 champion of team IGL. And he goes down. Not a good team play mga kaibigan for team ng BKT dito. Warlock is the only one left behind. A good yellow card. Gold card from Stayer. And it's an ace. What a play from BBTY dito. Ito ang AD carry na napansin kong sobrang deep niya sa laban na to. And he never backed down dito. Kung mapapansin mo, against a Jax, against a Corki, against Shyvana, against Corki, sumasabay siya ng sobra.
Yeah, and that's a really big play for IGL just now. Winning that team fight, acing the whole team of BKT and picking up that first out of third in the mid lane for BKT. And this pretty much evens the map control for both teams. And the gold lead has now shot up to almost 4K for IGL. And with this, even though the kills are pretty even with 11 kills apiece, this 4K gold lead is already one large item for IGL. And hopefully, if they're able to transition into the game, into the late game, they should be able to win more team fights.
Tingnan what happened kay Nina, nahuli nila si Corki with that cocoon coming from Equivocal dito. And also, gaya na sinabi nga natin dito, yung sunod-sunod na pag-follow up ng kanilang mga skills, that gave them the advantage here. Sobrang hindi na nakagalaw si hindi na nakagalaw si Sec kanina. And the only way for his champion to disengage dito ay gamitin yung kanyang second skill, yung W dito. But since hindi enough yun and wala siyang flash, nahuli siya ni BBTY dito. And as you can see, that damage output coming from BBTY, you have the Trinity Force, you have the Bloodthirster, meron pa siya ngayong BF Sword na probably would go for the Infinity Edge. So, if ever na makuha niya yung Infinity Edge niya dito, mas malaki lalo yung damage output niya. And syempre, dahil sa kanyang double attack, na every time na gumagamit siya ng any skill for champion, mas masakit lalo yung critical niya sa mga teamfight na mangyayari dito. So, Team BKT have to focus BBTY sa lahat ng mga teamfight na mangyayari. But since they have BBTY, they have Slayer pa na kailangan din nilang i-focus. And actually, lahat ng champion dito ng team ng IGL ay dapat nilang mapigilan. So, I do think they can focus more sa possible nilang maging objective dito of killing a champion. But at this point of time, kita-kita natin yung goal difference. Biglang lumaki, umabot ng around 4,000 or around 3.5k. And it's in favor of team ng IGL para this point.
Here
comes Pantheon mga kaibigan. Grand Skyfall, sobrang tagal talaga mga kaibigan. But before dying, Zabi made enough contribution mga kaibigan in the meeting dito. But still not enough to kill 007x. 12-11 ang ating score. Nice team play.
That was actually a pretty good play from BKT. Yes, I do agree with you, Spear. That was a good team play. But I really feel like this is probably the reason why some teams like DP and HQ are at the top, because they're a lot more aggressive. As you can see here, it takes a long time before BKT and IGL to actually engage or start team fights. Unlike HQ and DPA, they're always looking out for blood and they're always trying to make plays. Even if they don't pick up a kill, as long as they're able to bring their HP really low and force them back to base, that's already a huge win for them. Here between IGL and BKT, well, except for that last very hard engage coming from BKT 007, it's been a while before they actually do any big play. And this is probably the reason why they have to learn how to be a little bit more aggressive, try to pick up more objectives faster. Like a while ago, the dragon fight, BKT was trying to do the dragon, but they weren't doing it fast enough. They were hesitant, and because of that, IGL was able to win and pick up an ace against them.
And when you're using, I mean, when you have Pantheon in your team, ang talagang dapat mong gawin dito ay you have to decide when to initiate. Kailangan ikaw talaga mauna dito kasi kapag napapaya mo na mauna ang team ng BKT dito, I mean team ng IGL, I don't think yung Grand Skyfall mo is not going to be a threat against your opponent.
Yes. Alright, so I noticed some people are asking where is IGL from. It's actually IGL is Insidious Gaming. They just added the legend, so it's now IGL instead of ISG. But it's exactly the same team from last season. So of course ISG is from, or Singapore. IGL now is from Singapore.
Yes.
And they have two teams actually. They have IGL and IGR, which is Insidious Gaming Rebirth, and this is their main team, IGL Insidious Gaming Legends. And they were also able to knock out Singapore Sentinels from the GPL for the first time, I believe. It was Singapore Sentinels was not able to qualify for a GPL season.
Yes. So maraming mga teams dito ang nawala.
And actually, some of the players from IGL
Whoa,
are
Lloyd taking a lot of damage mga kaibigan from that Baron. What a play from team ng IGL dito. And a good grasping roots from Zappy. Almost there mga kaibigan. Siguro kung walang champion dito or napatagal pa yung grasping roots na meron itong si Zappy, Nami could just died that time. Pero
or if probably BBTY allowed his ultimate to hit the Baron, it would have triggered Baron to do a few spitting and knock her up a little bit longer, giving him more time to take her down. But anyway, that's done is done now. Equivocal almost landing that stun here.
Medyo pilit ang clash na to. I think this is very bad for team ng IGL if they continue to initiate in this team fight. But yes, I think since they're aware na nasa bottom lane si Warlock, but
yeah,
I think that's one of the reasons why they try to kill one champion here in the mid lane.
Yes, Han is trying to leave that lane, but because of the pressure that Warlock is providing on the Shyvana, it's forcing Han to stick around in the bottom lane just to stop Han or stop Warlock from pushing the bottom lane.
It's going to be very dangerous for team ng BKT. I mean, yes, BKT. Yung si Lucian, those items dito, 704 critical. So what's na makuha niya yung kanyang Infinity Edge?
This is quite surprising. Han did not go for any lifesteal here. He still hasn't built his Bladed Ruining King. Of course, it's a really good idea to get at least a little bit of a few tanky items, and he did already pick up already the Radiant's Omen and the Negatron, allowing him to be tanky. But I'm still I do expect after this item that he transitions to buying some lifesteal, at least a Blade of the Ruined King. But we'll have to see how he continues to build that champion, that Jax in the game.
I think one reason is because meron nga pang disengage si Corgi dito. Meron siyang W to disengage, but that's not enough reason not to get your item. Wow, mga kaibigan, teleport from Shyvana dito. A good cancel from Jax, and they're going 1v1 here in the bottom lane. And a dragon form from Warlock dito. And like what you've said, it's not a good thing for Han dito not to pick his Blade of the Ruined King against Warlock. Though meron siyang enough tanky items, I don't think he can survive 1 vs 1 duel dito. This is opponent, but BKT taking a lot of damage. A good grasping roots once again from Zappy. IGL Han stopping BKT Warlock here in the bottom lane. At dahil doon wala na siyang teleport to go or and respond and team fight na mangyayari in the near future. I wonder why Han goes back. And I think siguro dahil sa para pabayaan na team ng IGL to get the first battle of the game, but to sacrifice the second, third, and bottom lane.
Yeah, and here we see Han not going for the Blade of the Ruined King yet. Warlock will still have the advantage over him. As long as he doesn't have the Blade of the Ruined King, there's no way Han can beat Shyvana here on a one-on-one duel. Slayer with his gold card ready.
Oh, here comes Destiny mga kaibigan for Warlock. Dragon form. zone cooldown. And eto na, sinasabi ko, mga kaibigan, gold card once again. And with the assist.
Yeah, that was actually a lot of SS just for one champion there. They did use both Destiny and of course the gun Lucian's ultimate there. And with that, although they need to pick up a kill, I'm surprised Warlock wasn't able to at least take down that tower there while Jax went back to base. So BKT, BKT rather, is really struggling right now. The gold is starting to get really huge for IGL right now, and as long as they keep doing what they're doing, they should be able to snowball again over BKT even this late in the game.
Yes. So far ngayon, IGL Han is doing a pretty good job sa kanyang item build. And I think nakikita ko na kung bakit ganito yung kanyang focus ngayon. They have their the Randuin's Omen, and most probably will go for the Banshee's Veil, or possible din na kumuha siya ng Spirit Visage dito, is because meron ng enough damage itong si BBTY to kill a champion dito. Hindi nila kailangan ganun kalaking burst damage. I mean, you don't even need the slow coming from that Blade of the Ruin King. They have enough crowd control for their team to secure the kill here against team ng BKT. And it's going to be very dangerous for team ng BKT if ever na magkasalubong sila dito, if ever na magkaroon ng clash. And they have to rely on that much. Kita-kita naman natin yung damage output coming from BKT. I mean, from BBTY dito. And that Destiny reach out a champion. Missed out yung kanyang kukun dito. Almost there. And he got caught with that Aqua Prison coming from Nami here in the jungle. And grabe yung damage output na nangyari kanina. Kay BBTY, even Sek can survive a 1v1 duel against BBTY dito.
Yes, and IGL is now putting a lot of pressure onto BKT's team here. As you can hear, they're trying to push the tower. They're taking advantage of that Baron buff they still have right now. And the Baron buff is, I think, a little bit...
Oh! Warlock got that gold card coming from Slayer dito. Aray ko po! Half of their lives ay nawala dahil sa proc nung ultimate.
Yeah.
Itong si Corky dito.
Oh, what's that? That was a little bit weird. It's like a slight bug, I think. Lucian tried to dash in but hit the wall and came back for some reason. And you can see here another dragon picked up by IGL here. I'm surprised they didn't continue. They still have a lot of HP. The HP regen coming from Baron should have been enough for them to heal back up to apply again pressure, but this time around TF going to the top lane will pick up a huge minion of
1k critical BBTY dito. And I think once na lumaban talaga sila against ng BKT, kaya na sinabi ko kanina, they have to end this game as soon as possible. Dahil nakita mo naman yung poke damage na nanggaling kay Sek kanina. Just one all this yung kanyang missile barrage na every time na I think pangatlo or pangalawang missile barrage na dito.
Every third one is called the big one.
The big one dealing 50% extra damage, and I think napuproc dito sa critical niya. So kapag na-critical to, probably AoE damage din itong mangyayari sa kanila.
Yes.
So AoE critical din for their team. They have to be aware sa mga possible na maging strategy ng team ng IGL dito. It's a matter of choice. When to initiate, when to dive in para manalo sa laban sa mga teamfight na mangyayari in the future.
Alright, so BKT are gonna try to defend this middle tower here. I think IGL's Baron buff has already expired, and it'll be another 3 minutes before Baron will be set up. As you can see, there's still 2 pink wards for IGL near the Baron pit, so they do have control of the Baron at the moment. BKT are on edge right now. Shyvana was planning to push the bottom lane once again, but will be teleporting back to base since he's probably been warned by his teammates that Jax has been missing in the map for quite a while now. Alright, so we can see here in the minimap, 007 is trying to slow down the push coming from BBTY and Equivocal here in the top lane.
Destiny mga kaibigan from Slayer dito. Wow, a good zone niya for his champion. But he's staying out of dodge mga kaibigan. Here comes the Strangle Horse, the Dragon Form, and the Grand Skyfall from Pantheon dito. Equivocal taking a lot of damage and cute rappel for his champion. Will he be able to get away? And no! Shyvana goes down, killing spree na si Twisted Fate dito. It's a 3-4 na exchange at this point of time, and double kill for Twisted Fate, and getting the second tier threat here in the mid lane. 12-17 in total lang ating score at this point of time, and they're getting the third tier threat as well here in the mid lane. They'll be able to get the inhibitor as well, or I don't think na makaka-defend dito ang team ng BKT. So yes, an inhibitor for team ng IGL, and they could just end this game. Kaya nila tapusin nila ba na to since 2 champion ang nade-defend lang for team ng BKT. They have Pantheon, they have Nami. The only thing they can do is give the spear, give the stun, like what I've said. It goes down. A good Zonya from Stayer dito, getting the Nexus turret and getting the Nexus as well. It's about time, mga kaibigan. Congratulations, team Insidious Gaming Legend, getting the first win for their team here in the Premier League 2014 of summer season. Very good job. Very nice team play.
Yeah,
good
so
initiation.
Even though the game was kind of slow at the start, IGL decided to pick things up. As you can see here, in the last 10 minutes, there's a lot of action, lots of decisions coming from IGL, picking up objectives, picking up the Dragon, picking up the Baron, picking up towers, all the way to the end of the game. They were able to consecutively pick up objectives, and this basically allowed them to snowball the game all the way over BKT. Right? So,
I think ang naging pinakamaganda sa kanilang team dito ay yung decision making. As you can see, Twisted Fate never back down dito. Hindi siya nag-hesitate deciding or thinking what to do. As you can see, diving in, using that destiny, even he's alone, kaya niya patay dito ang isang champion. And even though they saw the Zonya Sarglass from G4 in the mid lane, they waited, and that gave them the advantage of winning the game. As you can see, hindi nila hinayaan na mabigyan sila ng enough poke damage dito from team ng BKT to win that team fight. But they have to go in first before the team of IGL dito. So ang nangyari, IGL, once they initiate the team fight, BKT can give enough poke damage before engaging the team fight. So they won the match, they won the team fight, and they ended the game.
Yeah, the game was actually very close all throughout the game, even to the last minute. As you can see here, the goal difference isn't really that much, and even the kills and assists aren't that far as well. It's just that IGL applied pressure at the objectives, particularly the towers, allowing them to outpush BKT at the end of the day. BKT has to be a little bit more aggressive if they want to win this game. I felt like they had the superior lineup overall, especially since Jack was not building any Blade of the Ruined King yet. He was going full tank Jacks, and Shyvana can definitely be that answer to that problem. Of course, Pantheon had a little struggle at the early part of the game, and his Skyfalls weren't connecting the way they should have been to make a good impact for BKT. But at the end of the day, IGL just simply outplayed them to win the game.
I think the reason why they focused more sa kanila pagiging tanke champions dito is because hayaan na lang nila yung damage output na manggaling kay BBTY and form Twisted Fate as well, or form Slayer. And as you can see, an Elise getting focus talaga ng sobra sa kanyang tanky items. Looking at these items, Randuin's Omen, Spirit of the Ancient Golem, Lord of the Iron Solari, Ionian Boots, and almost there for his Spirit Visage, or most probably for the Banshee's Veil as well. Again, congratulations Team IGL, mga kaibigan. Meron pa tayong laban mamaya after a few minute break, laban sa pagitan ng Team TPA versus Team ng IPT. Pinakaabangan na lahat. Again, I'm VG Sphere.
And I'm Jay.
You're watching the the Greener Premier League 2014 summer season. I'm very sorry sa kanina. So we'll be right back after a few minute break.